Today on the Lost Dust Jacket, we are diving into the Scrapyard as we talk about Battle Angel Alita by Yukito Kishiro. I think I'm saying that right. Welcome back to the Lost Dust Jacket. Today we are diving into starting the Battle Angel Alita manga series. I'm very excited to actually be starting this because I loved the movie. I thought the movie was fantastic. It was surprising because I thought the movie looked like garbage, and then actually watching the movie I was like, I love this and I would like to know more about this. So I jumped into the manga series. I have all 6 volumes of the original run. There's the dog again. Of the original run. There is a sequel series that is 19 volumes with 5 omnibus. There's 5 omnibus, and then you have to buy 16 through 19. And I gotta tell you what, if the rest of the series keeps going, my chair keeps sinking. If the rest of the series keeps going like this volume 1 will, I will totally get it. So right out of the gate, I just gotta say I absolutely loved volume 1. I read the entire thing in pretty much just 2 sittings. I read chapter 1 in 1 sitting and then read the rest of the book in the next sitting. Very, very fast read, lightning quick pacing. So much so that I was surprised that majority of like the movie is just here in this first book. So much of the movie is just this first volume of this book. It's kind of surprising. Also, what was really surprising was how much more violent the book is as opposed to what the movie was. You know, the movie kind of leaning more into that PG-13 kind of thing. I am curious if we're going to get into the like battle ball kind of thing. I can't remember what it was called, but where they, you know, they had that sports game, because what I've seen so far in this is more or less like cyborg boxing or cyborg MMA style fighting. I guess MMA is probably not the right word, but you get the point, like ultimate fighting between cyborgs. Outside of that though, if you don't know what the story is, I am going to go into spoiler territory. If I am talking about a manga series or a series of books, we're going to have to talk about spoilers because we're going to have to eventually talk about the sequels. And I don't think there's a good way to talk about sequels without getting into spoilers. Also, I realized that this little light's not on, so half my face is shadowed up. I don't need the lighting to make me uglier, okay? But anyway, the story is a Dr. Ito finds Alita in the scrapyard, brings her back. She's still alive. She's been asleep for like centuries. He gives her a body and quickly finds out that she is a what is it actually called, like a Panzer Kunst, I think is how you say it, model, where she's basically like an ultimate fighter, right? Well, Ito, to support his hospital and to support finding Alita her body, is a hunter warrior. A hunter warrior is basically the underworld's system of police. Basically, the way this world is set up is on the top you have Zalim, which is literally floating above the city. Then you have the scrapyard down beneath it, and that's where our main story takes place, is beneath Salam. Or is it Salim? I can't remember how you actually pronounce it. I think it's Salim. But anyway, so you have hunter warriors that are basically the police of this area, and they hunt down bounties and turn in the bounties for money. And Alita quickly becomes a hunter warrior along with Ito. And we kind of have our main book 1 is against Makaku. I think I'm saying that right. I'm probably going to mispronounce things. That's fine. It doesn't matter. He's a pretty sinister villain of this first book. He goes around eating people's brains, and he can also like take over other cyborg bodies with how his cybernetics is aligned. So he takes over this huge like ultimate warrior cyborg. Ito and Alita have to track him down and take him out. The end of the book kind of starts setting up Yugo and Vector, which was kind of a big plot beat in the movie. The end of the book starts setting that up. So that's kind of where we leave off. The majority of the book, pretty much like this chunk, is Makaku. It's Makaku. It's basically him. It's basically hunting down that cyborg, and then the last little chunk is setting up Yugo and Alita's infatuation, I guess, with him. I want to say too, right out of the gate, the artwork in this is absolutely stunning. I loved some of the character designs. I'll just show you. Let me find a good panel. There was one panel in particular, which is like, that is sick. I like this one right here, where the whole top is basically one bar across. But yeah, the artwork in this is just phenomenal. I love the art design. I love the character designs. I love the world design. I like cyberpunk kind of stuff, and kind of living with, you know, that whole like cyborg style of artwork and stuff is just really, really sick. It's really, really well done. The action in here is really cool of how he, I don't know if animate's the right word, but it feels animated. The action does. Obviously it's just drawings, it's not actual moving animation, but like the way he does draw these action set pieces in the panels panels do feel animated. They feel fluid and they feel moving, and it's really, really awesome. I really, really enjoy it. Like I said, I blew through this super fast. I literally just couldn't stop reading it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, I started it, I read one chapter, and then I set it down. Then last night I picked up the book, and I couldn't stop. I just could not stop. I finished the rest of the book in one setting because I just was I was totally in. One thing that really surprised me though was, like I said, about the pacing being lightning fast. There's like no setup. Like, it is like within the first 2 pages, Ito finds her, gives her the body, and then she quickly finds out he's a hunter warrior. Like, there's no development there. It's just like boom, boom, boom. Okay, now we're here. I was surprised because, I don't know, I guess it's 6 volumes, so I was kind of guessing, you know, the first volume would be like her kind of finding out he's a hunter warrior, kind of following some of the movie, right? But no, it's like just boom, lightning just right through it, and it never stopped. It just kept moving and moving, and that's why I just kept reading and reading, because it just never felt like it slowed down, and I never found like a good spot where it's like, I can come back to this. No, I was like, I want to know what happens next. I want to get to the next point, and I think that is something that is worth noting about the book. One thing I don't like though, specifically about this print, the way the book is bind, it's very easy to get to points where I feel like I'm ripping the spine, so I can try to read some of the text that's crammed into the center binding. So I kind of wish there might have been a little bit more leadway on the binding onto the page, like, you know, extend it out just a little bit so I can get to those corner pieces a little bit better. That was just one thing about the particular printing that I found to be a little bit obnoxious while reading. But other than that, I really loved it. I'm really excited about continuing on with the series and seeing what's next in the Alita series and where the story goes. That's one thing I wanted to read too, is because with the movie, I don't feel like we're going to get a sequel. So I don't feel like we're going to get a complete story. So I really wanted to read the book because I wanted to get the full story. Like I said, there is a sequel series, the Last Order, that is 19 volumes or 5 omnibus and then 4 random volumes. For whatever reason, they didn't put the last section into an omnibus. I don't know why. I will probably look into getting that at some point if I continue on. I would say by like book 3 or 4, if I'm still as into it as I was with book 1, then I'll start ordering them. But I'm going to sprinkle these out. I'm going to read some stuff in between. I don't like, when I start a series like this, I don't like to just go back to back. I like to have some breath in between each one of them. But yeah, I am looking forward to jumping into volume 2 though. Really enjoyed Alita Battle Angel Alita. I gotta keep remembering the manga's Battle Angel Alita and the movie's Alita Battle Angel. Regardless, I super recommend this so far. I really, really enjoyed it. Now with manga, with that whole recommendation thing, I always feel like I shouldn't recommend any manga series until it's finished, because with manga being weird, sometimes they get canceled before they get finished. Sometimes certain random volumes is out of print and very hard to find. So I feel like for me, like, I want to read the full thing before I give a solid recommendation. But I definitely think Battle Angel Volume 1 is definitely worth a read. If you think it's interesting, you can continue forward with the series. My thing is, like, there's clearly not a complete story in this. You have kind of the one arc of the bounty Makaku, if I'm saying that right, but then you have the last section of the book just setting up what's to come. So, you know, it's not like a one and done kind of thing. If you're getting Battle Angel Alita Volume 1, you're kind of like getting invested into the series, if that makes any sense. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Really can't wait to see what happens next. If you want to follow what I do, you can subscribe down below. You can comment, share. I would love to know your thoughts on Battle Angel Alita, if you ended up liking the series, what your thoughts were on the movie. And you can, if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member or Patreon. I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.